Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Game, respect, game. See, Gainer, he's the goat stirrer.
They're not even in the league.
No.
And they're stirring shit up. Every time a team gets a dub over GWS, they take it personally.
Yeah.
So they feel like there's a little bit of venom in their post.
He's not there anymore, guys.
I can talk about it now. I've gone to therapy, okay?
So I cursed the Melbourne Football Club.
Yeah, that's not good. We're going to call this social climbing. Welcome to the Type Studios.
Hello, my friend.
Maybe I should explain what we're doing here and who you are. But let me first ask, what time did you finish last night?
I was setting the agenda last night, so finished at about 1 a.m.
But you run all things socials and you made, I guess, in my eyes, you made the Channel 7 socials cool. But, you know, that's if you're asking me.
Well, that was the aim, just try and bring my personality into it.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of flair, add a little bit of flavour. Shout out to Sench, actually, early shout out.
We love Sench. AFL Central, we can't say that.
Ooh,
cannot say that, but it is Sench. I like Sench better anyway.
Yeah, Sench is good. 2024, I was helping him out behind the scenes. So that really helped me get into it and you got to back yourself in with you know all about it. You got to back yourself in with your personality.
I mean, Sench is like the godfather with all this, and he's like, he started when he was like in his diapers, which is crazy to think. And then, you know, you came on and started doing some of those graphics, which is cool. And then I only came across your work when you were doing stuff with Seven. Then I'm like, who is this motherfucker? I'm going to swear now. Who is this motherfucker thinking like me? Because there was one, before I get into what this is, I just want to explain this about Bear and why I rate him so highly. Last year, I'm pretty sure it was Hawthorn versus Gold Coast.
Yep.
Up
in
north.
the NT. Yep.
Up in NT. And it was the classic handshake before the coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
And the Key and Peele skit. It came to my mind. My friends were like, nah, no one's going to do it. No one's going to do it. And guess what? Channel 7, bang. And I was like, man, this is gold too. And you know what? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Channel 7 of all people. That was a good little announcement post. That was when we became friends. So.
That's it. I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I can't hate on this.
Game, respect, game.
Look, what we're doing here now is I've got an expert here. I would say you're an expert. You have the runs on the board. I'd kind of say I am as well, you know, not tooting my own horn. But we love our socials. We love our footy socials. And what this is about is the behind the socials. So all the chaos, all the madness that goes in to my memes and your amazing content that you do, and a little bit of social commentary regarding the socials that we see from other clubs, other people, whoever it is. So what do you reckon, Bear? What have you seen so far in the season that's caught your eye?
Well, just from my perspective, it's been really... I actually didn't start until after Headshots last year. So Channel 7 Headshots. So that's been...
nice.
That's been really good for the player relationships and hopefully been able to build on that this year we just had round 2 gone past and we had Josh Shelley, top 10 respects.
Yeah, Toyota, the man. That Toyota would have been there licking their lips and been like, this is great.
Adelaide Hills Toyota. He's a brand ambassador for them. So hopefully he gets a free service or two. Yeah. But there's been a bit of a shift, really. I mean, we've seen Melbourne start cooking. Everyone start cooking.
Everyone's starting to cook. All the socials, they're on notice, right? And we saw the evolution. Everyone says Jacob Gaynor at GWS. I think Jacob Gaynor at GWS probably had the license to be a troll. And then shit posting became a thing and all boomers were like, oh my God, this is amazing content. And then that paved the way for other clubs to fight back and paved the way for smartasses. Yourself.
What? Hang on.
I reckon you're a bit of a smartass.
Nah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A little bit, but I like the way you do it. Same with me. We do it in a way where it's not disrespectful, but it's just like towing that line.
Yeah.
And that's what we love about content.
See, Gainer, he's the goat stirrer. He's the
goat stirrer.
Instigator.
Yeah. Spent some time with him at Tassie and they're not even in the league.
No.
And they're stirring shit up.
We actually just might have added to that today. We just did a post on the crowds between GWS
and Tassie. There it is again.
So
the funny thing I notice is, we'll get to Richelli, but the funny thing I notice is that GWS obviously have a new socials guy, Paddy, shout out. Very good man, very wholesome man. And it's hilarious now because every time a team gets a dub over GWS, they take it personally. Yeah. So they feel like there's a little bit of venom in their post.
He's not there anymore, guys.
He's not there. So poor Paddy, who does an incredible job and he's picked up where it left off.
Paddy's just the sweetest soul.
Sweetest soul. But you know what? He's holding his own and I think he's only going to get better for the long run. We might see like a villain arc from Paddy. We might just see him something. Just go bonkers with these memes. I can see it happening.
We've seen a few dubs from the Giants.
A few Kingsley bicep curls.
Friday night footy.
No, not a dub this week.
Oh yeah, you're a Pies. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a Pies man. But then, leave that one out there, Paddy. I'm sure you've got a few smart ass comments.
Oh, we might end up in it. Do you want to say anything?
No, I'm not going to say anything at all. But look, to be honest, the hardest part for me, we're going behind the socials here. The hardest part for me as a Collingwood supporter is when we play a blockbuster game Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, which we do because we, have there's all eyes on the pies. People love Dacos. People love to hate him. But anyway, what happens is I'm quite passionate and I turn into a footy nuffy, but I have to put that to the side because if we lose or if something happens, I can't go Dan on this.
Yep.
I can't go... There's an expectation, right? So Dan has clearly established himself as this Carlton tragic. He'll win or lose. He'll ride that train. For me, I've kind of always been the balanced guy. So I've got to be balanced. Like I can show myself suffering a little bit. I have to stay neutral. I can't be too Collingwood centric because then people start going, oh, this is because Collingwood's doing well, blah, blah, blah. What's going on? And people want to hate Collingwood.
But I think you get to a point where you love the content so much. You just love, you have all the ideas in your head that it's above their game. Is that right for you?
No, that is true. So like when the most recent one was Adelaide played Collingwood, I had mates over. This is classic me. Now I've got to a point where I've gotten comfortable where I'm like, I'll do game coverage with mates over. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to win this game. We're looking good. We look great at home. And then Adelaide obviously came home strong. And they held on. And then it was frustrating for me because I had this pre-planned edit. And it's like, when you're passionate about an edit is when I feel like the best work comes out. So when your team loses, it sucks. So I just said to my friend who was here, I said, can you just film me like being me? And I'll just chop that in the edit and like just capture my actual feelings for this without going overboard. And it worked well, but I don't know how many times I can do that.
See, I had round 20 last year. I'm a Melbourne man, allegedly. I love the game, though. I don't really get too caught up in it. But 3/4 time, they were 8 goals up on the Saints.
Yeah.
And I actually said to the Saints admin, I said, this game sucks. Like, there is no storyline. There is nothing. It's just going to be a full-time post and I'll move on. And then I watched as my alleged team
blew a 40-point lead.
Yeah, we're victims to Nazai Wangani Millera.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest game I've ever covered. And I had all my mates messaging me saying, like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, you're at that point, your content comes first, which is weird because people are going to be looking at you and being like, you're a fraud. But I think you have to sit in those shoes of doing content to go, I still love my team, but like the cinema of football sometimes trumps it. Now, if you ask me that question, like luckily I wasn't doing content in 2018 because 2018 the Pies obviously lost and Dom Sheed from the boundary. This is a little bit of an insight into how I was and how maybe I am still. So when Dom Sheed kicked that goal from the boundary and we blew a 5-goal lead, I can talk about it now. I've gone to therapy, okay? I got to my partner's place and I unfollowed all the footy pages that I follow. God. Yeah, I shut off that. I blocked friends that had a go at me. Yep. And I turned on NBA 2K and I just said, I'm just going to stay in this room. And I remember just staying in that room for like maybe a day and a half. Like wasn't hungover, wasn't anything. It was just playing 2K career mode.
You needed the AFL game. You let the steam out.
Like. I didn't want to even do, like, I felt like a player who just played and lost. I reckon the players were taking it better than I was.
Probably.
And I thought about it and I'm like, had that happened, I would have sucked it up. Like, had that happened today, I would have sucked it up and just done it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to think that's how emotionally vulnerable I was when my team lost, especially in that kind of context.
I think we have a rule at 7 in terms of the media team. Like, if your team's in the grand final, you get the grand final off.
That's great.
And you get a ticket. But, I mean, Ricky's North Melbourne, I'm Melbourne, so...
Yeah, there's no hope.
We're fine.
Yeah. They knew that when they hired you guys. Who do you guys go for?
That was the first
Excellent.
question.
Perfect.
First
okay.
question.
Oh, Geelong Hawthorn. Oh, don't think you're the suitable candidate for this one. But yes, Bear. So this is our first episode that we're doing here.
Definitely our first episode.
Our first episode.
Definitely.
Definitely. We haven't recorded this before and fucked it up. Anyway, how is it dealing with players and getting them to do stuff on socials?
There's players that get it. He's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Like, he's a bit of a guru as well. Like, he'll accept the collab and then hide it from his profile. Don't see you, Josh.
Oh, he's smart.
Yeah, but
playing 4D chess.
It's very smart because then you get the extra, get some followers and
doesn't
whatnot.
have to be on your grid.
Yeah. So he gets it in that. Like, that's how across it he is. Yeah. So what you mentioned about adding a personality to 7 AFL, that was a goal last year. And I think it just allows players Centre was really good with that, as it was a place for players to come and comment and engage. And and that wasn't really. I don't think that was happening on 7 as much.
Yeah.
I like to think it's happening a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
But as the younger kids, or like, I mean, it's the same amount of young kids every year, but there are a lot more across it now.
Gen Zs.
The Gen Zs.
6'7".
I was literally about to say Willem Dersma.
Yeah.
And the amount of times he would slip in a 6'7" early days. So that new generation coming through.
Adapt or die.
Yeah, it's only going to get better. So I'm looking forward to that. But shout out Joshua Shelley.
Joshua Shelley, he seems like the kind of guy that loves it. Loves the flex too. He's like, Bear, can you please capture my big muscles? It was good. It was very good. You collabed me on that one, and I didn't know what was happening. I was playing pickup basketball, coming out, getting ready, getting the mind ready for a big Friday night footy. And then what do I see? Channel 7 wants to collab. And I'm like, what has happened here? Has someone said something about Type Media? Nope. It was just Joshua Shelley respecting the Toyota logo.
I'll let you in on a little secret. So if I go crazy with the collabs, it's like I'm a bit worried that it might flop or something. Especially like pre-game, right before a game, because once the game starts, it usually gets lost unless it has good longevity. Yeah,
you guys do so much, and I'm very, very impressed with that one and the numbers that did as well. I was like, I don't know if everyone's across this, but then again, man, this Gen Z content.
Hey, that might be your audience pulling through. So
who knows? Who knows? If all the Type followers out there, they must love that, the Gen Z. I thought my audience is more millennial. Given the references that I use, but who knows?
All the references behind me.
Maybe drop in a few 6'7s and then my numbers might skyrocket. I'm coming for you, Dan.
See, mentioning Paddy before, he keeps blaming me for 6'7". I was like, I only did 4 posts last year.
Yeah, only 4.
Well, hang on. I do a lot of posts a day. But the first one I ever did was pre-game before the NAS game. So I cursed the Melbourne Football Club.
Yeah, that's not good.
It was the first one I ever did.
Not at all. Yeah. I was going to ask one question, which is, how do you go about... And this is something because I've worked in a company before, and I go, you've got great ideas, and with Gen Z humor and trends, the guys that you are reporting to that are high up may not understand what you're talking about. It happens quite a lot.
Yep.
Even the company that I was at before, the people just don't understand. It's like, I don't get it, so we're not going to use it. How do you deal with that?
I've had my bosses say that they have no idea what half the stuff I post is. They don't have to approve it. I just have to have a good understanding of what is okay and what's not okay.
Yeah.
But I've had them say, I don't know what this is, but for some reason it has X amount of views. So kudos
to your employer, because it takes a whole lot of balls to do things like 4, 6, 7 posts. But we can chat here. We can sit here and talk all day about this. But Bear, I've got you in because I want to know where each club is at in terms of their social. We're going to call this social climbing, because I feel like clubs, they're going to fluctuate their rankings in terms of how they deliver their socials. And I think who better to ask than the Bear?
We'll do a top 5.
Yep, do a top 5.
And
start from 5.
Of course. Yeah. This is mostly dependent on wins, but not for all clubs. But number 5, we're starting with St Kilda.
St Kilda.
I'm a big fan of the Meme Dump Monday, purely because I don't think I'd be able to do it. And I've seen you do stuff like that as well, just your meme dumps.
Tried to do it. It's very hard.
You did
difficult.
one yesterday.
I did one. It was a Tuesday. It wasn't a Meme Dump Monday. I think personally for me, with podcast stuff on Monday, it's very difficult. And then also I already post a lot during the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like recycling stuff is tough. But yes, to your point, St Kilda do a great job of
I just couldn't do it. There's only so many memes in the world.
There's a lot.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
true.
never-ending library, and it just gets bigger and bigger.
But I'll get one out during the weekend. I don't know how. Like I know multiple clubs do it, but the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, they had 2 weeks banked up.
Yeah, they had it a lot banked up. They had a lot of pent-up energy ready to go.
Yeah.
And poor GWS had to cop it. And Paddy, you're going to learn.
So yeah,
you're going to learn, boy.
Shout out to St Kilda. Number 4, I'm going Fremantle. Little bit different because
they are very different.
I just really respect how they go about it. Like they have their own. I mean, every club has their own photographers, but they'll prioritize their own stuff, get it really quickly from off the boundary and put it out on their socials, prioritizing that over Getty and AFL photos. Also, shout out, they use spaces on X. So any presser, like you just listen in. So I'll sometimes spend my days listening to a random Justin Longmuir presser.
That's crazy.
Like Tuesday, because it's just accessible. But Freo's good like that. And then you did notice a little Freo post over the weekend that you liked.
The talk of the town was Paddy Boss with his wrestling moves. And then they posted this carousel where it was a wiki how, where it explains the most stupidest thing. It's just like, this is how you wash your hands. And it's like this, they posted this thing where they obviously had Vossi doing the body slam or about to do the body slam. And then the next one was like, this is how you do the body slam, which I thought was very clever. It was well done by Freo. And I agree with that one. I've got no issues. I think having a range of content is always big thumbs up.
Number 3, gone back to my hometown.
Yep.
Port Adelaide.
The pair.
The pair. I tried to slip them into your preseason top 5.
I didn't want any bar of it.
You didn't listen to me.
Didn't want it.
I just really like their player relationships. I think it's criminally underrated across the league.
This is funny because we had this conversation yesterday, and then I saw them post this cinematic piece, which is their postcard piece.
Oh, wasn't that good?
And that was incredible. That was probably the best piece of cinematic vision that I've seen that any club's posted. So yeah, they got a little bit of credit from my end. Okay. But I don't know about a top 5, man.
No, they're 3. If they keep winning, which hopefully they do, you'll see. 2, Adelaide.
Cromland.
Yeah. Most teams, if you have a blockbuster game and you lose it, you just do your full time and you sign off.
Yeah.
Not the Crows.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah. The whole next day they were posting highlights from the game. It was the first game at Adelaide Oval for the season, so the crowd's up and about. They got the goal song. It's unreal. And I kind of liked it.
They didn't believe in their FT full stop. They were just like, you know what, guys? We had fun. We want to tell everyone that we had fun.
And I was having fun watching it all back. I was like, I know you lost, but there was some good stuff there.
Very interesting approach because I think AFL fans are not very forgiving, to say the least. And I think that was a loss they would cop because I don't think it was a bad loss.
Yeah.
I think it could have gone either way. And the way they fought till the end, it was okay. So it was kind of like, okay, we played good footy. We lost to a team that's humming at the moment.
For sure.
But I'm interested to see how much are they going to keep this going.
I was going to say, maybe in round 20, if it's a needed to win game, you're not doing it.
We'll keep an eye on that.
And number 1, and they're going to be number 1 for most of the season, the Hawks. So Hawk Ball. No club makes you feel more on the inner sanctum than Hawthorn just through their socials.
Yeah.
And every week, I don't know how they do it, like a brainstorm, whatever, but every week they have some genius idea, content idea that I wish I had. But like this week, it was the Guernsey sizes.
Guernsey, yeah. I picked up on this, and it's probably one that didn't do crazy numbers compared to the other stuff, but I just thought it was pretty clever. It was so basically whenever the players come into the rooms, they get their jumper from whoever it is, the team manager or whatever it is at the time. And then Nick Watson comes in and he gets this oversized number 5 jumper, which is clearly Ned Reeves. And they're trying to get his reaction. And you know, Nick, he was a bit cluey to it all. Ned, on the other hand, when he got, I don't know what number Ned wears, but when he got Nick Watson's size jumper, here we go. Tell me what Ned Reeves wears. Do you know? No. Anyway, Ned Reeves is like looking super confused like a ruckman does. And he's holding the jumper up and people are taking photos with him. And it looked hilarious. But to your point, I think they are the perfect example of you can see a well-oiled team functioning here because they have a range of content. So you know that it's not one single person that's going, hey, let's do this all because there's just a range. And they hit that Gen Z market, they hit the millennials, and they still manage to keep, you know, the oldies around as well. They love it.
Yep.
So they're doing a fantastic job. And I think Hock off the field, yeah, they're A1. It'd be interesting to see if they hold that position because there's a few, I would say, that I've got an eye out for.
Well, here we go. Who are you keeping an eye on?
I've got an eye out for Melbourne, your boys, and I think they have been pretty good. And that came from their ad campaign that they did.
Yep.
Which had all the, you know, guys, Broden Kelly, it had Clint Stanaway, it had Titus O'Reilly.
Yep, Hamish Blake cameo.
Hamish Blake had all these guys. And I always find it's a big step for a club to be, you know, just, yeah, we've been shit.
Take the mickey out of yourself.
Take the mickey out of yourself. It's a good one for Carlton and Essendon now. I think Essendon's slowly starting to understand that, you know, we need to be aware of where we're at. Melbourne, this is fantastic. I think having a bit of self-awareness goes a long way to winning your fans over.
So same social team at Melbourne. It's just they've got a new coach, new CEO, new president, and they've gone, we are a bit outdated with how restricted we were before.
It's fantastic.
This time last year.
And they're winning a lot of people over. And me personally, as someone who's doing like memes and videos and stuff, the toughest thing that I find is you don't want to come across negative and punch down. So you just don't know how clubs are going to react. Yep. But there's like this now. It's like, okay, you guys got smashed. This is what happened. Or Max Gawn kicked it straight to the opposition. We're going to make fun of it, but it's not going to be a personal attack. And they're aware of it as well. I mean, they address that in the video.
Also, they got goal songs now. Are you pro goal songs or?
Oh, this is like a controversial political opinion here. Pro or anti-goal songs. So I think it's great, but it can be triggering. You know what I always find interesting when these young players come through and they have quite like old songs?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if they've chosen that themselves or if they've just been told to pick that because that'll make you look cool.
But Aaron Cabman's is The Way I Are by Timbaland.
Oh, yeah, that is an old song for him.
And I was just thinking, you're a baby. You're a baby.
How do you know that song?
Like that's...
Yeah. We're not old. We're not unks by any means.
We are unks according to the draftees.
Unks doing socials.
Right.
But
draft day,
yeah.
Biggest regret of my life is doing what age is unk status to all the new draftees.
Cannot do that.
It's like they had my driver's license. Everyone said 27.
And then you go home and you cry.
I didn't even make it home before I started crying.
Well, that is a wrap now, Bear. I'd love to talk to you, but we're going to have plenty more times throughout the year. We'll be back in another couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yep.
But you'll be seeing us regularly where we basically dissect the social space and see where it goes. Anything to add, Bear?
Well, Gather Round's in a couple of weeks' time. So,
well, maybe after Gather Round we can kind of see
we'll see you after Gather.
Who's climbing up the ranking.
Even you're going.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there keeping an eye out on all the socials and all the stupid things. Hopefully don't appear on TV again.
Oh, we didn't even get to that.
Sway Lee. No, that's old news. We don't need to talk about that. But Sway, if you're out there, you remember me, man.